the CII event, my colleague Sumita Karir caught up with a number of top voices from the world of technology, innovation, and of course, within the IT space. Let's listen in.
So from a partner perspective, I mean, it really starts with the OEMs, right? We need vehicles to put on the platform. So earlier this year, we announced a partnership with Tata to bring 25,000 electric vehicles to India. We're well on the way getting those vehicles. It then goes into the actual network, and we need to get them to drivers' hands. And often that actually happens through fleets. So we announced partnerships with Everest and Lithium and Move.io today, and these fleets are going to purchase vehicles via Tata and other OEMs to actually then put to work on the Uber platform, and that enables the earning opportunities for drivers. The other thing is, of course, charging, right? And we're sort of in early days from a charging infrastructure perspective in the country. Our partnership with BP Pulse is really going to, I think, help accelerate that. And you know, on top of all of this, there's a layer of supportive government support, sort of nudging us forward, because I think the big transition is really about making the economics work.
Where do you see the India market headed as far as Uber is concerned? Because we've seen a slew of American CEOs, global CEOs come to India and make really impressive, ambitious announcements. Amazon did that, Cisco did that. We also saw how big of an event was when Tim Cook came to India and announced manufacturing capabilities extension in India. The government has also been very keen on expanding the EV ecosystem, giving subsidies as far as the EV ecosystem is concerned, manufacturing is concerned, production-linked initiatives are concerned. So take us through where does India stand in your list of priority markets when you compare it to the other markets of the world?
So India's been high on our priority list for a very long time. You list recent CEOs, but Uber's coming up on nearly 10 years operating in the country and having senior leadership engaged in our business in India. We were founded on the idea of creating transportation as reliable as running water everywhere for everyone, and India was a very key part of that mission early on. It's a top 3 market for us globally from a volume perspective, and I think importantly, not just from a scale, but from an innovation perspective. Our 2-wheeler products, our 3-wheel products, our high-capacity vehicles, or bus products. These are things that we're innovating and building here.
Especially post the pandemic, the EV ecosystem has got humongous push by the government. Are you going to be having talks with the government, and what are your expectations in terms of policy support that you require when compared to the other countries, when compared to policy support that you've gotten in other countries, for instance?
Yeah, so I mean, bold, ambitious, inspiring plans, I think, is what India is becoming known for. We are, of course, engaged in government discussions, both at the state level and the central government level. And the discussions are really about how do we accelerate the transition of this ecosystem, how do we electrify the economy, because it's unquestionably a good thing for cities, for the country, for people making a living, for consumers, for the environment. And so everyone's interests are aligned, and it's really just about figuring out what are the right incentive structures, what are the right infrastructure support.
So Uber has really transitioned from being a ride aggregator app, a ride aggregator company, to now getting into the EV ecosystem. What I want to understand from you is that pricing is a very critical piece as far as whether ride hailing is concerned or EVs are concerned. How are you going to make it affordable for the Indian consumer? Because price is a huge consideration for consumers, and especially post the pandemic.
Absolutely, and we actually like to think of our evolution to being a multimodal transportation platform, and what that means is actually getting people to spend more of their journeys in their daily life on the Uber platform. And actually, if you do that, you can get away from individual car ownership, which I actually think creates a lot of societal challenges.
On then at the CII event.